What's going on out there today, YouTube and fitness world? Once again, Chris Levine, and in today's episode, we'll be going over kicking up to the wall for an episode of Handstand to Beginners. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit notifications so that you're able to get all the different notifications to tell you for any episode that we're going to be having in this particular series and for future videos as well. So without further ado, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and get ready to go over how to kick up to the wall for a handstand. Alright, we're back. So once again, like I said in the intro, we'll be going over kicking up to the wall. Now, for this particular portion of it, I would say highly suggest, especially the ones that are like very new at it and you're just following along as I do my different videos, I suggest that you have somebody actually there with you to help support you throughout this particular part, just in case you do fall, because believe me, whenever doing a handstand, at some point you're going to fall. And now it's whether you have someone there to support you, or also I'm going to go over different techniques that how you can get yourself out of a hand, like if you overshoot it, how you can recover from it so you're able to continue doing it without getting injured. So for the technique, in order for you to get out of a handstand whenever you messed up or you overshot it, it's called the forward roll. I'm not going to do that because my ankle's a little bit messed up, and then also because I'm on concrete, even though I have like a little padding, I highly suggest you practice the forward roll technique in the grass or like a soft area so that you don't injure yourself as you're practicing. Also, like I said, if you have somebody spotting you in the beginning, that would be highly beneficial for you, not only to help guide you into the actual kick-up, but in case you do fall over. So for the first technique that we're going to go over is going to be from the standing. So what you'll do is you'll start from the standing position, and you're going to take a deep lunge into it. So you'll take that, my forward leg is my right leg. So I'm going to take that right leg forward. And what you do is you take your arms, push forward just like this. So you're going to take a deep lunge. And as you're going down, you're lowering your hands as well. So I'm pushing forward here. Before I even kick this back leg up, your hands want to be about this far from the ground. So you don't want to start here like you see, a lot of you see the gymnasts, they start from like this high position, they go like this. And they're doing that. First of all, they're professionals. Second of all, they're usually doing flips, which requires momentum for them to go forward. For handstands, you want to use as little momentum as possible. You want to use your technique. That back leg is definitely going to be your balance point. So you want to utilize that more than just kick forward. You don't want to just slam your legs up against the wall, which a lot of you are going to end up doing. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a little bit. But what you want to do is you want to start from the top. For technique one, which is the little bit harder one, you're going to start here, lunge into it, hand placement here, and then this back leg, you want to make sure it stays straight. So you're going to kick up, and then back down. So when you're trying to find out where is it, like how far away from the wall you want to place your hands, you want to start out with only kicking your back leg and touching the wall. So it'll look like this. The reason why is because if you commit both legs forward and you realize that your hands they're too far away or they're too close, that can lead to you falling. And then also in the beginning, it's a little bit easier to just do the back leg and then go back down than it is to do both legs up. So in the beginning, just start with just the back leg hitting the wall. Now, the second technique is going to be to where you're going to have your hands already on the ground and then you kick up. So it's going to look like this. And then back down. So once again, this is what it looks like. Now, the key fundamentals to being able to do that, keep those arms straight, push your shoulders into the ground, do not let your elbows bend. If you do this, when you're going like that, you will collapse and you will fall. So we don't want that, all right? It's probably going to happen at a certain point when you're learning strength, but you want to make sure that your arms stay straight, your shoulders stay pushed into it, and that back leg stays straight as you're kicking up. Now, so once you're able to basically get that, from there, I would say maybe if you can get like 5 to 10 good reps of just your back leg with everything staying straight, then you can move on to where you have both legs up. So like I said, make sure, what I used to do is I used to mark where my hands were, like my sweet spot. So like somewhere like right here is where I want my hands to be every time. So you're working on consistency. So you want to do the same thing every single time. So once you know where your hands should be every single time, whenever you're kicking up, you can practice to where you get that back leg up there as well. So you don't want to be too far away from the wall, because this is what's going to happen. If like, let's say I do my handstand from here, I'm kicking up. You see how I have to curve my back? I have to curve my back in order for my feet to hit the wall. And if you're too close, which I'm not going to do, it's hard for you to even get up into that position. So you want to find that sweet spot in order for you to be able to properly get that kick up to the wall. So I'm going to do a couple of repetitions of both legs up, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like for you to go a little bit slower descending. Now, while I'm doing this, make sure you're paying attention to how hard my feet are hitting the wall. If you realize your feet are just slamming up against the wall, you're using too much momentum. So even if you're just going up this far, and you can't make it to the wall, I would rather you do that than for you to just slam up against the wall. Alright? So here we go. This is with both feet hitting the wall. Now, like I said, in the beginning, it's very hard to be able to do that. So even though I'm probably making it look easy, it's definitely a lot more difficult than you think it is to slowly touch the wall. But your goal is, even if your front leg hits the wall harder, you want that back leg to ease up into it. So, and then if you noticed, as I was going down, it was a little bit slower as well. So those are all things that you want to work on in order to perfect this particular movement. So if you're utilizing these different techniques, I'm telling you, in the beginning, you have to be patient with yourself, because you can't assume that you're going to be able to just do that because I'm teaching you it. It takes time. And I'm not showing you this to try to give you this false sense that you're going to be able to do it off the bat, because you won't. Most people will not be able to do this for a while. Their back leg will bend, or they'll slam up against the wall. Just understand that everybody goes through it. All these YouTubers that are teaching handstands, they went through it. I went through it, right? So it just takes practice of the fundamentals in order to get to it. So once you're able to do about 5 to 10 repetitions of doing your kick-ups to where your back leg can hit the wall, even if you're using a little bit of momentum, I want you to focus on actually your elbows not bending and the structure of it, more so of your feet. Once you're able to do about 5 good reps, you're ready to continue to push on to the next step of your handstand training. So we're going to give you 5 good reps right here, and this is essentially what it should look like. It's not going to be perfect like this, but it's more so getting you comfortable being upside down and building that foundation to where you can actually do the technique. So it's going to look like this. So, like I said, if you practice these fundamentals, I'm very confident that all of you will be ready to move on to the next step, and you'll be building a strong foundation for your handstand that I cannot wait to see in the future. Don't forget to subscribe, and you all have a wonderful day.